I thought I would make some observations about the Jeffrey Epstein issues that never seem to go away. Trump is claiming that Obama, Biden, and the former FBI director, Comey, have somehow spiked the government's Epstein files with false information about Trump and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. I would note that Epstein was arrested in July 2019 and died in prison in August 2019 while Trump was president. Comey was fired by Trump in May 2017, or more than 2 years prior to Epstein's arrest on his federal indictments. So why is Trump making these claims about Obama and Biden and Comey spiking the Epstein files with false information about him? Unless Bondi has told him that some of the information in the files do mention him in an unfavorable light. Trump knows that he can make a claim without providing any factual support, and tens of millions will believe him, no matter how ridiculous the claim may be. Trump defines what is true for them. Trump also knows that he can use a constant stream of false and misleading information to manipulate the tens of millions who are willfully ignorant in the United States, a condition made worse by their unwillingness to spend any time to research the universe of easily accessible, reliable information to determine for themselves whether the claim made by or statement made by Trump is valid or lacks validity, or to even exercise a modicum of common sense about them. Another Trump tactic that's on display in the Epstein Files matter is simply to attack others when there is some inquiry that may reveal his own bad conduct, or to accuse others without any proof of some bad conduct that he has done to deflect attention away from him. The attacks will frequently create a reality that someone else is to blame without, of course, providing anything resembling evidence supporting the claim. And the claim that he's making about Comey and Obama and Biden spiking the files is in that vein. Trump and his 100% controlled puppet of an Attorney General, Pam Bondi, claim that they want the Epstein grand jury files released. That would be the transcripts of the grand jury testimony. That requires Bondi to file a motion before the district court that has sealed the grand jury testimony to release the testimony that led to his 2019 indictments related to sex with minors, pedophilia. They know this is a ruse, since it creates a false impression that they are engaged in transparency and want information to be released. Grand jury testimony is secret and can only be released under very limited circumstances by court order that are not applicable, as far as I can tell, to the Epstein grand jury transcripts. You do not need to be a lawyer to understand Rule 6E of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure that govern when a grand jury transcripts can be released at all. And that is available for your review on the internet. Reading the 6E indicates to me that it is highly unlikely the motion to release the transcripts is highly unlikely to prevail, since none of the conditions justifying the release are present. It is clear that Trump does not want the Epstein files that were gathered as part of the federal investigation released to the public, and I'm talking about the files that other than the grand jury testimony. So a legitimate question is to ask is why? Why is that the case? All I know is that Trump and Bondi were claiming that the files would be released and then something changed. Maybe it was something in the files that would be damaging to Trump if released. No one knows until the files are released. I did read that when authorities seized documents in Epstein's possession, that there were tapes that had markings of a young girl's name and the identity of some other person. A list which may or may not be a client list for blackmail. Trump supporters have never accepted the testimony of women who claim that Trump sexually assaulted them. They dismissed the jury verdicts in the E. Jean Carroll cases. The Republican senator from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, said in response to the Carroll jury verdicts that those made him want to vote for Trump twice. They do not view the Access Hollywood tapes as providing a window into Trump's soul or as defining who he really is. So if there was something in the Epstein files that was unfavorable to Trump, I doubt it would change the minds of hardly any of the people who have already discarded all of that prior information about Trump's conduct. Maybe a few will start to reconsider their opinion when and if the Epstein files are released and there is some information in them that sheds light on his close friendship with Epstein, who claimed in a recording made in 2017 that he was Donald's closest friend for 10 years. I will reference the source for that information in the more section below. For me, the entire Epstein saga over the past several decades are examples of how mediocre persons with at best average intelligence can achieve fame and fortune in America. And once having achieved wealth, can avoid consequences for their morally reprehensible conduct and even illegal conduct during their lives or for an extended period, far too long of a period. Lying works as a path to political power in the United States because so many are uninformed, and wealth can be achieved through shameless self-promotion without much or anything to back up the promotion and the claims being made, even when the evidence shows incredibly poor performance, which was the case for Trump in the 1980s and into the 1990s.